Hello, my friends. It's Danny and
Katie.
And today we are chatting what you assume about me. And I have Katie here to keep me honest. So a couple weeks ago, I put on the YouTube community page and in my Instagram stories, I asked for you guys to share your assumptions about me so that we could get to know each other a little bit better. So I'm going to address them and clear them up so we know what is what, right? So Katie is going to read them out loud and then we're going to chat it out. So let's jump in.
So I assume that you and your husband make date nights a regular thing.
You know what? That actually is not correct. My husband and I used to be really good at making date nights a regular thing. We've been married for 15 years, and I would say like the first 12 years of our marriage, we were really committed to date nights. But I feel like in the last few years, now that the kids have very busy schedules as well, and we work from home, and life is a little more circus-like, we're really actually not that good at date nights. But thank you for reminding me, because I'd like to make them a regular thing again.
All right. Second one. I assume that you're part Italian.
Yes, that is correct. My father is 100% Italian, so I am half Italian and then 1/4 Irish and 1/4 German.
I assume that being fun comes effortlessly to you. As a fellow librarian, I relate to the kind of person you come across as.
Okay, so as a fellow Libra, basically, Librian.
Librarian.
Like I'm a Libra. I would have to agree.
Sometimes.
I do think I'm a very fun person. I'm also a very serious person, but I like having fun. So I would say that I am a naturally very silly person. With that being said, I am also half serious. But let's hand the mic over. Katie, you don't think I'm a fun person?
You're a fun person, but I definitely... Well, this next one's going to tell y'all. All right, but I definitely think that you can be strict sometimes, like, you know.
Well, I have to be. I'm your mom.
Yeah. All right, next one. I assume that you're a very serious and strict person.
See, now, it's interesting because I don't think that I'm a very strict person.
You can when you find out that it's 8:15 and we got to get to school in 15 minutes.
Well, that's called running the ship. So
no, you're a Libra. You go one side and then you go to the opposite side. You're either really strict and like on point, or you're as silly as they come.
Yeah, so I guess I am. I do know for sure that I can be a very serious person. Like I'm a thinker, I'm a studier. I always want to like expand and grow. I'm an analyzer. I do all of those things. So part of me is very serious. It's like I want to know and understand things. But there's another part of me that's very light and fun and silly. So that's my self-analysis.
I assume that you're very kind and very organized.
Okay, so that's two assumptions. Let's start with organized. I am not organized. I'm not organized. I'm the kind of person where I know in my mind what needs to be done and what's next and how things need to go. But if you were to just look at the surface of things, definitely not organized.
You want to know a funny fact? She passed that trait on to me.
It's very true. Her room is
a
mess. She's like one of these kids who takes her clothes off and finds a really hard time getting the clothes into the hamper, right?
Definitely.
And as
it's boring to just take them out. It takes so much time.
Oh, okay, well.
You're gonna cut that part out, right?
We'll see.
We'll see. I assume you use all natural skincare and hair care products. You have such healthy looking skin.
Well, thank you.
That's because she wears foundation.
I do wear foundation, especially when we're shooting. Actually, not all of the products I use are all natural. And I've talked about this before, but anybody who is, I'm not a healthcare expert by any means. No, I am not a skincare expert by any means, but so I get a lot of my information here on YouTube, and my favorite go-to person to follow for skincare is Hot and Flashy. Angie from Hot and Flashy. You guys should definitely check her out. She is an expert in skincare for mature skin. And when I started following her and following her tips, I will say that I saw a huge change in my skin. So if you're looking for tips there, follow Ange. I will link to her down in the description box below.
Awesome. Next one. I assume you're very disciplined, organized, and have endless energy. You're obviously a good mom.
I would say I'm a pretty disciplined person. I'm fairly organized, but like I was saying before, I'm not super organized. I'm organized in the
You're not
sense.
super organized. You're really nothing near organized. Except for work.
Who invited this one?
Like in the house, nothing is clean.
Oh my God.
Unless the cleaning ladies come. And that's like the only that's like the only 30 seconds until mommy comes and wrecks it all up again.
Okay, so let me answer this question. I would say that I am disciplined. Like I know what's important to me, and I prioritize what's important to me. So most of the time, I would say I'm a pretty disciplined person. Organized, I'm definitely not the world's most organized person, but I know what my priorities are. And so I feel like I'm organized in the sense where I put my time and my energy into the things that are important to me. But I have to, in order to do that and maintain sanity at this stage in my life, I let a lot of things go. You know, laundry baskets or messy house stuff or, you know, pool stuff from the weekend. It's kind of picking and choosing what feels the most important at any given time. So while I don't think I'm organized on the surface, I know what's happening in here.
All right.
I assume that your kids are adorable. No, you're wrong there. Wrong assumption.
Now you see, that's proof that she's lying. Okay.
So I think she's saying your kids are adorable. Thank you.
Thank you.
We agree. Thank you. Oh, go ahead.
I assume that cooking comes naturally to you. You make it look so simple. And you're the kind of person that I wish was my neighbor.
Aw, thank you. Cooking does come naturally to me, I would say. It's very, I don't think about it. Let's put it that way. It's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Innate. It's innate. I've done it for my whole life, and it's something that.
She's always been fearless in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's something to me it's like art. You know, it's just like play to me. Cooking is like play to me.
Yeah. All right. I assume you've tried every diet out there and finally found what works for you.
Yeah, that assumption is probably right. I have tried every diet out there,
Most
and I will say most all of them. And I would say that the one that resonated with me the most, and that kind of built my whole business, is clean eating, right? So focusing on real whole foods as close to their natural state as possible most of the time. And that's still what I do to this day.
I assume that you think about Dairy Queen from time to time, but then you come to your sense and make one of your yummy smoothies or zucchini chocolate brownies.
I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever been to Dairy Queen. But basically, like, what's my kryptonite, right? Like, what? I mean, yeah, like anybody, what do I love to get? I really don't have, like, there's not like a real junky food that I love to go get. But like, I would never think to, it's like usually a kid thing. It's usually like the kids have a ton of activities and the schedule is super busy and they want to go to Habit Burger and I'm like, okay, you know, and then I enjoy it. But it's not, I probably on my own accord would never be like, ooh, let's go to Habit Burger. Just not my thing. I love French fries. I love peanut butter. I love a good steak. I love a Caesar salad. I love chips and salsa, guacamole. I mean, I love ice cream and I love French fries and we live in New Jersey, so we eat pizza and bagels and what else?
All
But
that
you eat
jazz.
very little of it.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I mean, I still have like one thing a day. So.
Milk duds.
Milk dud. Oh, she loves her milk duds.
I love milk duds. I love.
She hid them in her drawer. I found them.
I did not hide them in my
I
drawer.
found them. I found
Jax
them.
gave them to me.
I found them.
I hide them in my drawer. Jax gave them to, because okay, my husband keeps a candy stash in the basement.
He does. And
My
I
husband
found
keeps.
one of them.
So my husband keeps a candy stash in the basement, and when we go to the movies or something, we will pack our own little bags of candy, so we don't have to spend like $1 bazillion on candy. Although you still manage to always buy a bag anyway. And one of the bags was Milk Duds because that's my personal favorite movie candy. And Jax found the candy box the other day, and he came upstairs and he goes, "Mommy, I have your favorite. Here are your Milk Duds." You know, it was like 9 o'clock at night. I was like, "Thanks, Jax," and so I just stuck them in my underwear drawer. I wasn't not hiding candy in
Underwear drawer.
the top drawer,
Oh
right?
my god. All right, next one. I assume that you're just like all of us, trying to be the best version of yourself you can be.
You know what? That is 100% correct. I think that's one thing that we all have in common, and I think that's something that I really love about the Clean and Delicious community is that we're all really just trying to live the best version of ourselves, and that I love.
I assume that you have some sort of culinary training.
I do have some sort of culinary training. So here's a crazy truth. Back in the day, I signed up for like real deal culinary school. And when I first moved to California, I was either going to study, I remember my husband, you were like, you either need to go to culinary school or study fitness, because there's the only two things that like you talk about are like food and health and fitness. And I actually signed up for culinary school. I had all of the whites and the uniform all ready to go, and I didn't end up doing it. I didn't end up doing it because I was afraid of being around food that much at that time, because I was still like really in the throes of struggling with all my diet mentality and weight and all of that. And I was afraid to go to culinary school because I was like, oh, like, what am I going to do if I'm around food all the time? And then where am I going to go with all of this? So I did not end up going to culinary school, but I did do a professional cooking program for home cooks. And I will tell you, I learned a ton through that program. And it's called the New School of Cooking, that was in California. And I also was like an apprentice to this woman who ran her own cooking school. And she taught me a lot about the basics. I mean, she's where I learned to use a knife. I remember she made me, I wasn't using my knife properly, and she would not let me do anything until I bought like a bag of onions, a bag of celery, a bag of carrots, and she made me cut and cut and cut and cut and cut until I cut using my knife properly. So that's kind of the base of the culinary training that I had. And then of course, just being a home cook and always being around people who like cooking.
All right. I assume that you used to eat a lot of unhealthy food until you had children, and then you decided to go clean and healthy so you could teach them how to feed themselves for a better health and great skin like their mom.
No, actually, I was eating healthy well before I had kids. I mean, because I began dieting at such a young age, I was always very conscious of food and healthy food. And I would say that the base of my food, I ate healthy for many, many, many years, like, probably beginning like early 20s or so. But because of, largely my approach was a very strict on and off dieting approach, I would eat healthy and then I'd kind of go into a binge state and then eat healthy, go into a binge state. But I always had a very strong underlying consciousness of health and healthy food. And then once I really started to grasp the concept of clean eating, that is when I really kind of transferred or transitioned into a really healthy core diet. So, but have no doubt about it. You can still overeat or eat too much even when you're eating clean.
I assume when you started your channel that you never expected to hit 900,000 and more subscribers. Love the channel.
When I started the channel, you're right. When I started the channel, I did not have like a real long-term vision for my channel and what I was doing. Fun fact, I mean, for any of you who've been watching that long, the reason I started this channel many, many moons ago is because I had auditioned for the next Food Network star. This is a long time ago. It was the first season. And ended up being a semifinalist, which at the time really meant nothing, but it was very exciting to me. So we started shooting cooking videos and using YouTube really just as a place to house them. And then we were kind of using it as a reel for production companies. And so that's kind of how the whole thing started. And then as I was working one-on-one with clients as a health coach, a lot of my clients were wanting to eat better and they didn't know how to. And so I would create these cooking videos so that instead of teaching them all separately over the phone or in person, they would have a resource where they could go and see how to make a sweet potato or, how to work with a butternut squash. And so again, we were creating these videos and we were housing them on YouTube, but I really did not have the intention. I didn't have the vision for what YouTube was going and has become. So you are correct. I did not start my channel thinking I would ever grow to reach the audience that we're reaching today. So very exciting.
My assumption is that you had a mole removed on your face. I always thought it was lovely, but one day I noticed it was gone.
Yes, and I bet you're not the only one very curious about that because I never actually addressed it because I don't usually chat about these things in my cooking videos, but I used to have a giant brown mole on my cheek right here. I've had it ever since I was born. Well, it kind of grew over the years. And it was right here. And then in the latter years of having that mole, it used to get very irritated and red and itchy, and it was just problematic. And so I had it removed about 3 years ago. So if you see any of our older videos, you will always see that I had that beautiful brown mole right on my cheek, and I have had it removed since.
Yes. I remember during it when they were processing it, Jax would not kiss you.
so I remember when I first had it removed, when I came home, my son, who was like 3 years old at the time, he was so, like, it was so weird to him that it was gone that he would not hug or kiss me.
He was like so upset.
He was
'cause
totally
he
freaked out
loved
by
it.
it.
He
And he's
loved
not a
it.
big fan of change, that one. He likes to keep things constant.
Yes, all right. I assume that because you're a YouTuber, you don't get hurt by cruel comments.
You know what? That is pretty much correct. I wouldn't say that was always the case, but I will say that most negative comments on the channel really don't bother me, and that I delete them. So you guys don't see a lot of them, because if someone comes on and they have nothing to add to the community in a positive way, then I just delete it if someone's just being mean or ill-intended. Now, with that being said, if somebody has some type of constructive criticism, that I am totally fine with and I'm completely open to, but people just talking smack for the sake of talking smack, they just get deleted. So don't waste your time or your energy, because I'm gonna delete you anyway. But you're right, it really doesn't bother me. But I'm gonna read you guys a quote that really resonated with me. If you guys know Brene Brown, she's an author of many amazing books, Dare to Be Great, I'm not going to think of the titles now, but she's amazing. She has amazing TED Talks on vulnerability. But she shares this quote that was originally said by Theodore Roosevelt. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. And I love that quote so much. And she says somewhere, I've heard her say, you know what, if you are also not in the arena, your opinion does not really mean that much to me. And I feel very strongly in alignment with that thought process, right? Like if you're just throwing stones to throw stones, I truly do not care. I don't even hear your words, so delete.
Hello, Mommy.
Aw, I love you.
I assume that you're a cute, chubby, bubbly baby.
I'm sure, I don't have any, yeah, I guess.
You have no clue.
I was definitely a chubby baby, yes. I don't know how bubbly I was, but I was
What
chubby.
does bubbly mean?
Like, happy.
I was a bubbly one.
You were the world's best baby.
I think that you would ace the drama team and must have a cleaning lady because you're so busy. That is definitely true.
I never did any type of acting in my life, and I don't think I would be very good on the drama team, because I would not be a good actress. I can do me. I can talk to you guys like just being Danny and cooking, but acting I would not be good at. And yes, we do have a cleaning lady. She comes every Friday morning, and we are super grateful for her. Okay, so this was super fun. Was this fun?
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Thank you so much for playing with us and sharing your assumptions about me. If you guys like doing fun videos like this, I would be happy to do another one. I actually have a lot more assumptions that I didn't get to. I just didn't want to make the video too long. Or if you have any other ideas for fun videos, leave them down in the comments below, and I will make sure to read through them, and then hopefully we could do something like this again. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tell them to smash. What do the kids say? Smash
that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye. What was that? She also does these crazy instant laughs. It's like all of a sudden out of the blue, she just starts laughing. Okay.